Hey, movie mystic and darling gang, what's goody? Here with, what does it look like? 5 Asian films at Fantasia Fest, 5 reviews of films of the Asian variety that I saw uh, at Fantasia Fest, that is. So, we got 1 for The Forbidden City, Noise, 2, Blazing Fist, 3, Garo, Taiga, 4, and Rewrite, 5. And we start from worst and then we go to the best. We're going to have a good time. The purpose of The Forbidden City was very exciting for me. It's a kung fu movie set in Rome, Italy, which is my favorite genre movies, which makes my favorite genre movies outside of America, both those countries, and then China is in my top 5 to be certain. However, the film felt uneven and lacked cohesion, like a synthesis that didn't amount to much. I left a hard punch from either direction, and I found myself fidgeting throughout. It's annoying when that happens at a film festival, and there ends up being another experience that other people enjoyed, and most likely you would have too. Oh well, you can't get it right at every time. I didn't get to talk to a cool film critic beforehand, and perhaps that justifies the whole experience. All the tropes and plot turns had me essentially yawning and get romantically entangled. There's a Chinese restaurant and mafia thrown in there. There you go. Some images, some tropes, but when you blend it together, not much came out. And then we're going to talk about Noise. So my mind got semi-blown learning that the director of Noise is a first-timer. This horror film from SK packs in a lot of atmosphere, creepy imagery, and jump scares that should work for horror film fans across the board. We get this apartment building, which has sounds that drive people crazy. Everyone is going crazy here, but those who follow the sounds and credit people end up crazier and even dead. Some things are better not to be known, I guess. There's a lack of logic that works for a horror movie. Why don't people leave this building? And why is the basement a portal to hell are questions that don't need an answer with a horror film-based dream logic. There's enough of a justification for these questions lingering due to the nature of the film. If you don't like that, you came to the wrong address. But so did everyone else living in this cursed building. One thing brought up during the Fantasia Fest Q&A is the scary nature of the building itself. We will see a crazed character in a backdrop of static doors to other residents who must be feeling very similar. The last shot has a brutal and comedic touch, and some of the kills and moments of tension are great to experience with an audience gathered in front of a big screen. I certainly hope you check this one out. But the passage of time has been a little not so generous, I guess. I think it was more the theatrical experience. It does kind of rely a little bit too much on jump scares, and the dream logic, as mentioned, maybe it's a bit of a leap. So it's a generous review that gets 3.5 stars. And sometimes I write 4-star reviews, and then they don't, and then I just dump on the whole movie. So whatever. This is all true through a filter, through this number. And I'm telling you now. So now the world knows. Okay. Blazing Fists. Let's talk about Takashi Miike. Takashi Miike has made lots of different kinds of movies, but Blazing Fist is his first sports movie. It's about 2 young guys who went to juvenile hall due to their transgressions. One day, a guy with a fighting show gives a talk to the juveniles, and he talks about the potential second act that could occur if they really dedicate themselves to something and don't get sidetracked. The guys get out and join a gym to eventually learn to kick some ass and ideally get on this show to hang out with the guy and inspire them so much. Along the way, we learn that they have beef with the gang. They try to work it out, but eventually that becomes unavoidable, and they had to try to beat them up. The movie is funny. It's like Miike doing a Stallone movie. It has lots of sports movie tropes, and it is a very fun coming-of-age movie while being a little bit hacky. No, it isn't top-tier Miike, but at least he's trying something else and isn't delivering the same movie every time. This one had a lot of audience engagement at Fantasia Fest. It can deliver some hype. The editing is pretty funny and ridiculous, which is to be expected. The movie made me laugh, cringe, and enjoy seeing the growth of some lovely young people from Japan. One of my buddies who I saw it with has a good line. He says, we were talking about the movie tropes of it, and there's this whole thing that's like, well, if you thought those guys were jerks, wait till you meet the next guys. And, it's fun. It's cute. It's a bit of a yarn. It's a new Takashi Miike movie called Blazing Fists. Okay, Garo Taiga. is the latest in a series I didn't know anything about, but thoroughly enjoyed while being perplexed by this Power Rangers for Adults tale from Japan. We get this guy who walks around normally looking like a temple guard from the Jedi Temple, to at times being a golden animal masked Super Saiyan style warrior at moments of need. He's called a something rather knight, and there's a lot of world building talk throughout this movie. But just the fact that his normal apparel is what it is, and no one seems to care, was bizarre to see. I guess it's the same culture that will occasionally live through kaiju attacks, so it's nothing too strange. I also am being nitpicky because the series was loads of fun for me and something to recommend. The bad guy is enough of a threat. He is unlocking some celestial cheat code to be extra bad to people and then subject them to his reign. I guess we need to stop him, but not without the help of some other celestial-esque humans. You need a psychic here for good measure. We get a female one and another guy who isn't even a human being. There are just different celestial realms that interact here that probably shouldn't. This movie's silly fun. I was giving 4.5 stars. I liked it, but 4 stars is cool. That's fine. That's fine. But here we go. We do have a 4.5 star film in the batch. Let's get to it. Scriptwriter Udiya Makoto wrote the very funny time traveler and time loop film Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes, but the Pretty Solid River, but I felt like the latter film was kind of a cheat. It felt too much like Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes for my liking. It was slightly more melancholic and less funny, but it was not enough of a shift in tone for my taste, and it relegated the movie to a hat trick. Here Comes Rewrite, same writer, different director. And I thought, why not give this a chance? The result is a desire for the writer to move on from the time loop scenarios, but still enjoy the project. It comes 2 years later instead of just 1 year for my cinematic Japanese time traveler and time loop experience. And the story is different enough to feel removed enough to be enough of a different experience. Okay. I like the coming of age storyline, the big reveal, the deepening of the reel into the end of the film, and the fact that it isn't a single setting, single day storyline. I think the actors were lots of fun, and it was interesting how the focus on characters expanded as the story went on. And if you haven't seen the other two mentioned films, this film could be a revelation for you. It was fine. It was cool. It got 4.5 stars. So we had The Forbidden City. If you don't mind, Letterboxd, the profile. Come on. You'll see my top 4 up here, but then you'll see Noise, Blazing Fists, Garo, Taiga, and Rewrite. So that's what's up. You can read these on Letterboxd, but I hope you enjoyed this stream. I hope it was a good time for you. That's it for me. I got another stream of some more Asian films that played at Fantasia Fest that I saw, but they were what I had already seen and what I had not seen, and they are older films that were restored. And yeah, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. Just 2 reviews tomorrow. We did 5 today. And then, what is it? On Friday, I'll do a stream with the rest of the features that I saw at Fantasia Fest. But there's going to be 2 more streams of short films I saw in different programs at Fantasia. So that's exciting. That'll happen next week, those 2 streams. And then my ranking will come